And now we're up to Daf Samach Gimel Amid Beis. The Gemara says the following: I want to prove this distinction between Yada and Lo Yada based on a brisa. But Tanya, we can support this with a brisa. A person took a konam to prohibit himself on Yayin Ad Rosh Chodesh Adar. Then the Iser is Ad Rosh Chodesh Adar Harishon. Then the Iser is Ad Rosh Chodesh Adar Hasheni. Now the Gemara is going to point out that there's something very strange about this brisa. Michlal, from the fact that in the Sefer it says in Hoisa Shana Muberes, that implies that the ratio lav the Muberes Haskidon. If the Mishnah, if the brisa qualifies in the Sefer that in a case that it was a Shana Muberes, then the Neder continues until Rosh Chodesh Hadasheni, it must be that in the ratio it was not a Shana Muberes. But that's impossible, because it says in the ratio that Ad Rosh Chodesh Adar Rishon. Rishon means that there are two Adars. So you can't tell me it's not a Shana Muberes. Shmamina, the only way we could make sense out of this brisa, the distinction between the ratio and the Sefer and the Rishon and the Sheni, is in the Sefer, when it says Adar Rishon Adar Sheni, the Pshitale, he knows for sure that this is a Shana Muberes. They already published the Luach, and therefore his intention was until Adar Sheni. But the Reisha, which says that he's only also until Adar Rishon, that's the case of Lo Yoda. He was unaware of the fact that this was a Shana Muberes, and therefore his kavanah was for Adar Rishon, and that's exactly how we interpreted, even according to Rabbi Yomi. This leads us to the Mishnah here on Daf Samach Gimel Amid Beis. This Mishnah is the Mishnah of Umdina. Umdina means that based on circumstances, we're going to try to understand what he had in mind when he took his neder. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Konom Yayin She'eni Toim Ad She'yehei Pesach. Now, normally, and this we've seen already in the Mishnah on Daf Samach, when a person says Ad She'yehei, he means Ad She'yetze, until that holiday ends. However, here, although he uses the word Ad She'yehei, nevertheless, Lo Niskaven Ze Ela Ad Leil Pesach. We have circumstantial evidence, and therefore reason to believe that his neder does not extend till after the entire Chag of Pesach has terminated, but rather the neder extends until Leil HaPesach. He did not want to generate upon himself an Isur Yayin beyond Leil HaPesach. Why? Because on Leil Pesach we have an obligation to drink Yayin, 4 cups of wine. Ad Shosh Eder Pnei Odom Lishtos Yayin. He only meant to take this Isur Yayin up to the point where he's obligated to drink wine. Once he is obligated to drink wine, then we assume he didn't want the neder to become a barrier preventing him from fulfilling the mitzvah of Shtiyas Yayin B'Leil HaPesach. So therefore the neder terminates at the beginning of Yemei HaPesach. Now the Shita Mekubetzes is quoted here in the note, offering an entirely different interpretation here, that on Leil Pesach he still remains awesome. What the Mishnah is establishing here, the name of Yehuda, is that B'shar Yemei Pesach, that once he passes the first night of Pesach, Mutalo, he's allowed to drink wine. And the Umdana of Das, according to the Shita Mekubetzes, is that when he took upon himself an Isur Yayin, then that's on his mind that everybody else is drinking wine. If everybody else is drinking wine, apparently he took a specific neder, a konam, not to drink wine. So he wants to be different. He's like a radical. He doesn't want to be like, the herd mentality. If everybody else is drinking wine, he doesn't want to drink wine. Once Leil HaPesach passes, on the other hand, there's no chiyuv to drink wine, then he also is allowed to drink wine. Now the Ran is going to say in the name of the Ramban that from the Mishnah back on Daf Samach, we're going to paskin against Rabbi Yehuda here on Daf Samach Gimel. Because there on Daf Samach, we established that if he uses the language of Ad Sheyeh Pesach, he's also Ad Sheyetze until the entire Pesach terminates. The Mishnah continues in the name of Rabbi Yehuda, Omar, if he declares Kodom Boso Sheni Toim Ad Sheyeh Tzom, the word Tzom here is a reference to Yom Kippur, Yom Tzom. And it would sound like he's saying Yehei, which means until the termination of that holiday, that period of time. But yet, Rabbi Yehuda is going to say, based on a certain umdana, that Eino Osir Ela Ad Lele Hatzom. He's only prohibited from eating meat until Erev Yom Kippur. Why? Because he doesn't want to prevent himself with a neder from eating meat on Erev Yom Kippur. Because at the Suda on Erev Yom Kippur, what we call the Suda Mafsekes, the general custom is to eat meat. So he didn't want to prohibit himself, enjoin himself from eating meat when the mitzvah, or at least the custom, is to eat meat. So therefore, this neder, according to Rabbi Yehuda, will terminate with Leil Hatzon. And once again, we're going to have the same machlokas that we had before between the Ran and the Shita Mekubetzes. The Ran is going to say that Rabbi Yehuda holds that there's no Easter up until the Tzom, but rather up until Erev Yom Kippur, so that he can allow himself to be Mekayim the minhag of eating basar on Erev Yom Kippur. However, according to the Shita Mekubetzes, as we quoted earlier, he prohibits himself until after the Sudas Erev Yom Kippur, because since everybody else is eating meat, he wants to be, as we said, a different one, and therefore he prohibits himself from eating meat. Rabbi Yossi Beno, the son of Rabbi Yehuda, says the following: Omer, if he takes a neder, he says, Kodam shum shani toem ad shetehei Shabbos, and again, the language of ad shetehei seems to indicate until after Shabbos. Eno also ad lele Shabbosos. Why? What's the umdana? That Rabbi Yossi is extending an umdana, an application of the principle of umdana Rabbi Yehuda. The minig was to eat shum on the night of Shabbos, on Friday night, and he wouldn't want to prohibit himself and join himself from eating shum, since that's the accepted minog, and therefore, with the onset of Leil Shabbos, his neder terminates. And once again, the Shita Mekubetzes is going to say that everybody else is eating shum, and he doesn't want to eat shum, but in the morning, he's allowed to eat shum. The Mishnah continues. I am enjoining myself from having hana from you. I have a desire to give your son a gift of either a large volume of chitim or 2 barrels of wine. So it sounds like if his friend will not come by to receive this gift on behalf of his friend's son, then there'll be an Isra Hana. But again, we're going to apply the principle of Omdin Das Hanoder, Hareza Yochel Lahafres Nidro, which means he doesn't even have to worry about the neder. Shalom Api Chacham. He doesn't even have to go bother to get a heter of a Chacham. The Yomer Lo, Kluma Marta, Elo Mipnei Kvodi, Zel Kvodi. Why? Because the friend, right? So Ruvain was the one who took a neder, trying to press upon his friend Shimon that Shimon should come by and receive this gift. So his friend Shimon puts forth the following logical argument. Why did you set this up? You were trying to influence me that it would be a covenant for me to receive the gift. And guess what? My covenant, my greater covenant, is if I don't want to receive this gift. And therefore you have indeed achieved your goal. There's no reason why the neder should be chal. And therefore this neder does not even require a hatoras chacham. V'chein, the Mishnah continues, Ha'omer lechavero kodem shat nenesli im ein at bo v'nosei libni kor shal chidush lechavios shal yayin. In this case, Reuven is generating an Iser Hana on Shimon in order to cajole and influence Shimon to give a gift to Reuven's son. Reuven's the noder, he wants Shimon to be Mechaved his son. And here the Mishnah quotes a machlokas between Rabbi Meir and the Chacham. Rabbi Meir Omer, we have to take this neder literally, Asur ad sheyiten. If Shimon refuses to give a gift to the son of Reuven, then Reuven is also the Isur Neder, which is Kodem Shat Nenes Li. Actually, no, Kodem Shat Nenes Li, meaning that Shimon will be enjoined from having Hana from Reuven. Why? Because Shimon refused to bring a gift to Reuven's son. But Chachamim Omer, after here too, we can use the umdana that we used earlier. Yachal lahafir es nidro shalol pichacham. He doesn't have to be matter the neder. Why? The Yomer lo harei ani ki'ilu iskabalti. Because Reuven could say to Shimon, you know what? It's as if I already received the gift. Now here the Ran makes a distinction between bonav smuchim al shulchano and ein bonav smuch al shulchano. Are the children of Reuven totally dependent financially on Reuven? If they are, then Reuven has the right to say Kilus Kabalti. But if they're independent, they're mature and older sons, then what right does Reuven have to say Kilus Kabalti? The Mishnah continues. Hayim Misarev. Misarev means that he was begging him, cajoling him. Bo Loses Basa Chosa. Okay, he wants him to marry the daughter of his sister. And that's called Bas Gilo. Bas Gilo means that there's a certain chiba, a certain special relationship to Bas Achoso. The Omar, and he declares, Konem Shehi Nenes Lili Olam, I will prohibit any hana from me on her. She will be enjoined from having any hana from me forever and ever. And also in the case of Magarish Sishta V'Yomer, Konam Ishti Nenes Lili Olam. So even though in his neder he emphasized the word hana, which implies that all hana is included in this neder, nevertheless the Mishnah Paskins Harei Elu Mutaros Lehenoslo Shonis Kavin El Shum Ishus. That contextually from the umdana, we prove that when he said this neder, he didn't want to, let's say, be married to them, and therefore his hana that he had in mind was not shar hanos, but rather hanos ishus. And finally, the Mishnah concludes by saying, so Reuben tried to impress and influence Shimon to eat in his house. Omar, he says, your house should be in a konam. I'll never go into your house, and I will be enjoined from entering into your house. Or alternatively, he said, I won't taste from you even a drop of cold food. I won't be able to drink anything of yours. So even though in these cases, Piresh Benidjo, he was explicit in his neder that he's generating an Isser upon himself and joining himself from entering into the guy's house, or tasting even a cold cup of water, nevertheless, muta likanis the base lishtos menitona. Why? Shodas kamin zel shumachinu shisia. We're going to prove from Umdana that since he was trying to influence his friend to come and eat by him, then he took the neder for achila and shisia. He didn't have kavana to prohibit himself from entering into the house of his friend or tasting a drop of cold milk, but rather he only took upon himself an iser of achila and shisia. Hadron alecha konam yayin Hashem tomorrow on Sabbath Dalet B'Siyata D'Shmaya. We begin the 9th parak of the Masechet Nedarim. Wishing you a great day.